think it's testament to Charlie, sort of after his, a stint of inactivity, he's coming straight back in with Georges Ory, because he can fight. You know what I mean? He's a southpaw, he's a former European champion, and he's coming here to win. He's coming here to try and win anyway, and that's where, again, testament to Charlie. He wants to go right into the deep end. He wants to show people how good he is.
This is Jonathan Agger of Fifth Pro Boxing Fans, joined by Stephen Smith, former fighter and now trainer, this Friday night, training Charlie Edwards, who fights Georges Ory at York Hall. Stephen, how are you?
All good, mate. Good.
Good. So, tell me about the transition. Obviously, you got to a very high level as a pro, and now you're training.
Yeah. Listen, I think it was a natural progression for me. I've always been obviously really interested in boxing, being from a family of brothers where we're all professional fighters. I've always had a high interest in it, as I said, but I've always being one who can look at a fight and assess a fight and sort of look at things tactically and stuff. So I think going into coaching was always going to be the next step for me. I just needed to make sure I had the break between the boxing and coaching, and I've done that, and I'm ready now, and I'm really enjoying it.
What coaches would you say you've sort of learnt from over the years, either sort of studying or being trained by them?
To be honest with you, I've took bits from all coaches, where good and bad, and what I've looked at and I've seen and I've took lessons from right from a kid, from the amateurs. But of late, I've liked sort of watching how Buddy McGeer trains with Callum in terms of technical things and adjustments he makes on the pads, and when he's the mitts as he calls them. I like seeing that and seeing how we can assess things up close. But myself, I like again watching boxing, and I feel like I'm more interested in the coaching now and what to say. Like in the corners, I have a little listen, and some of it I agree with, some of it I didn't see, and I'm a bit like, and that wouldn't be what I said. But I think that's how you sort of learn and assess things and sort of put your wits against the coaches. So I'm excited to be a part of it all now, and have my name up there as a coach, and I'm looking forward to making progress with all my fighters, and that's the plan now going forward. I want the best for them.
When you hung up the gloves, did you feel like there was a void in your life? A lot of boxers say, like, when they hung up their gloves, they don't know what to do with themselves. Did you feel like that, or was it just, getting into coaching kind of filled that void immediately?
No, I massively felt it. More so because I didn't really get any closure on my boxing career. I'd like sort of won my last 3 fights and was working towards another shot to the world title, and COVID happens, and I realised with age, I was 33, 34 at the time. I was thinking it's not really the right time to be having a year, 2 years out the ring. I wasn't sure how long it'd be. Obviously, it was all new to all of us, and before we were in lockdown. It was like, I don't know what's going to happen here. I thought boxing had stopped and stuff, and then it started up a year later with like garden shows and stuff like that, but I don't think that was really for me at the time. So again, I never really got any closure, but before I knew it, I was retired and was a bit like, what's next, you know what I mean? And I think coaching was always, as I say, the natural progression for me, but I needed the break, I needed to have time away. So I remember saying to my wife, look, I'm going to have a year, I'm going to do nothing, and I'm going to basically accept that I don't box no more, because that void in your life is tough to fill. And I do get why so many fighters do become depressed and do sort of struggle after boxing. And you see fighters that sadly have turned to like drinking drugs and stuff, and it was probably always them trying to chase that void and fill that void. And I think I felt it, but luckily enough, I'm happy in my personal life, and I think my wife and kids helped me massively in that, as well as my brothers and my family that are all around me, and I've all got a good understanding of sort of boxing and life after boxing as well, because I've been through it already with my elder brother Paul.
When I spoke to Charlie about a few weeks ago, he said to me it just felt right when you first linked up, and he feels like it's clicked between you two. Would you agree with that? And why did you decide to take on Charlie?
Yeah, 100%. I would even say pleasantly surprised, because when you're in boxing, you hear sort of the rumours and the stories about fighters and how they train and how they work, and I'd heard already from the two of us used to work with, George and Danny Vaughan, and they both said to me, I tell you what, he's like you, he trains like you, because I used to give everything myself, and they used to let me know how hard he worked, and that was when he was younger in his pro career, early days. So I'd heard the rumours that he worked hard and he gave it everything, and that's all I'll ask for from a fighter when I'm coaching him. If you give everything, I'll give you everything. And when I linked up with him, I remember getting a call asking would to train him, and I was like, of course, he's a former WBC champion of the world. You know what I mean? You can't really ask for much more. And since the day I've linked up with him, it's been a pleasure every day. Seeing how much he gives it and how much he wants to improve and how much he wants to achieve his goals. It makes it easy for me, if I want a better word. I turn up, I've got to assess what I can see with him and help him try and improve. And just if I can keep adding to his game, then the sky's the limit.
And obviously his opponent on Friday, I think, was a former European champion, so in a division as hard as the one he's in, I guess that's kind of the fight you'd want to sort of bridge that gap, because there's a lot of killers at the top.
Yeah, listen, I do think that. I think it's testament to Charlie, sort of after his a stint of inactivity, he's coming straight back in with Georges Ory, because he can fight. You know what I mean? He's a southpaw, he's a former European champion, and he's coming here to win. He's coming here to try and win anyway, and that's where again, testament to Charlie. He wants to go right into the deep end. He wants to show people how good he is and showcase his own talents, and I'm more than happy for him to do that, because I believe people are going to sit up and take notice this Friday night, because he's in unbelievable shape. He's ready. The main thing is he's fresh. He's getting in there this time, and he's left nothing in the gym. It's going to be a really good performance, and he's going to announce himself on the world stage again.
Does it feel like a bit of a different sort of responsibility when you're fighting? It's just about sort of yourself, and now you've got someone else to worry about. Does it feel like a different mentality?
Yeah, listen, I've laughed over this before already, saying boxing's tougher, but coaching's a lot busier. Do you know what I mean? I don't get a minute these days now, and it's the same now. Friday night, listen, my whole focus and attention is on Charlie Edwards and getting him back where he belongs. And the minute that bell goes, and the minute his hand's raised, and I'll congratulate him. I'll wish him well, tell him how proud I am of him, the fact that he's performed well he has in the gym, and he's gone and done what he's done his job on the night. And then it'll be in the car up to Manchester for me, because I've got Steve Clark fighting Saturday up there. So it's, as I say, it doesn't stop this coaching life, but I couldn't ask for more. I'm really happy. I wanted to be busy, and I am busy at the minute, and I'm really enjoying it.
Just away from this, in 2 weeks, I think it is, Haney and Garcia. A lot of people writing Ryan Garcia off, mainly maybe because of the build-up or because how good Haney is, but how do you see it going?
I think it's more to do with people questioning Ryan's mental state at the minute. He's had a few mad things coming out on social media and a few crazy tweets, so people are wondering where he's at mentally at the minute, which is never nice, because obviously fighting the fight game's tough enough. We want everyone to be in a good position mentally and going in there in a right mindset. So I hope he's happy, I hope he's healthy. If two of the fighters get in that ring happy and healthy, then you can't write Ryan Garcia off. His speed and his power, he's in any fight, you know what I mean? But ultimately Devin Haney's a big favourite for the reason, he's former undisputed champion. He's a class act himself, and I think he goes into that fight as favourite, but I wouldn't write Ryan Garcia off, definitely not. I think he's got the explosive power, and see that in the Campbell fight, he can come back and he can pick a shot out and end the fight. So I do think Garcia's in it. I'd be excited to watch it. I wouldn't write him off by any means, but I do think Haney's a favourite.
And Tyson Fury, Oleksandr Usyk, May 18th. Fury said that he feels he can beat Usyk any way he wants. He can beat him at range, he can beat him on the inside. What do you think?
I agree with him. I think Usyk's a lot better fighter at range than up close, but I do think Fury, with his reach, he's got like the longest reach in boxing history or something crazy like that, his long arms on him. He can outbox him at reach. Fury's really good, really mobile, so I think Fury can do it at range, and when it gets close, I think he can lean on him, he can use his size, use his weight. I think Fury's a big favourite in that fight, but he's got to be switched on, because I do think Oleksandr Usyk's a class act. I think he can fight. He's done it at every level, from Olympic gold medalist, undisputed cruiserweight champion, and now he's unified heavyweight champion. So I'm not saying by any means it's an easy fight, but I think my money would be on Fury, just the better big man beating the better little man.
Just lastly, how's your brother Callum doing? Obviously, he sort of, fought one of the best around, gave a good account of himself, but, at this level, I guess it is fine margins, but how's he been since, and how do you reflect on it?
Listen, he's all right. He was disappointed. He was massively disappointed. He went into that fight, hoping and wanting to win, and was massively disappointed after it. But he's rested up. He's okay now. He's got a wedding coming up. He's getting married on the 1st of June. Ironically, the same night that Better Be Heaven Bivol are fighting. So he's looking forward to his wedding, and then after that fight's happened, we'll see what's the plan for the future going ahead, because we'll see what's happening with the division, whether it's tied up or whether anything becomes available for him to go at, because I know ultimately he still wants to be world champion.
Well, Stephen, we're not going to keep you any longer. Appreciate your time and good luck Friday.
Thank you.